when was this king guilty? Tang Fu Shui's expression was ugly, and he replied with a strong attitude. A giggle came, and Feng Yan's graceful gesture, who was standing next to an old woman Feng swayed, saluted to Yang Kai, her beautiful eyes flowed, and her lips slightly opened. Junior sister has seen senior brother Yang. Brother Yang, don't worry. You haven't returned to the High Heaven sect for a long time, and you don't know much about the situation here, so you may have some misunderstandings. Now the corpse spirit religion is a disaster to the Shadowed Star. All of us have fled to the High Heaven sect. Brother Yang is the sect master and owner of this High Heaven sect. Please put the overall situation first. If possible, we might as well sit down and talk about it. Old Lady Feng nodded slightly, clearly feeling that her granddaughter was very appropriate. Even Tang Fu Shui, who had lost his temper for a while, had a slightly better look on his face. Which green onion are you? Whose junior sister are you? Don't come to be close to this sect master. Yang Kai glanced at her indifferently, and didn't mean to put her in his eyes at all. Lady Feng's face sank. Feng Yan's beautiful face was even more furious, her silver teeth clenched, her small fist clenched. The strength of the 10,000 Beast Mountain she was born in is not weak, and she is also a granddaughter of the Feng lady, and her qualifications are quite good. Although not as famous as Wei Guchang and others before, she is also a leader among the rising stars of the Shadowed Star. Coupled with her flowery face and shrewd mind, she has always been sought after by young men from 10,000 Beast Mountain, and is regarded as a goddess in their heart. Even if young men from other forces saw her, they would definitely chase her around. She has seen too many people who are fascinated by her beauty. So she never put men in her eyes. She thinks all men in the world are idiots who can be controlled by her. However, Jiang Kai's reaction made her irritated. Since she was a child, she has never received such insults. It is as if she has a hot face and actively put a cold ass on her ass. She is still in the public, making her feel bad. When she was about to refute, Yang Kai didn't pay attention to her anymore. To Yang Kai, she was a little pawn at all. This made Feng Yan even more annoyed, and a pair of beautiful eyes sprayed with hatred and anger, staring at Yang Kai fiercely, as if to bite off his flesh and blood. Give you a cup of tea time, and send someone out to explain the situation to me clearly. After a cup of tea time, if this sect master still has no idea about the situation, everyone will get out of the High Heaven sect. Yang Kai's eyes are like eagles. Generally sweep around, and shouted coldly. The audience was in an uproar. The people who had dodged their gazes and dared not look at Yang Kai were angry and looked at Yang Kai with a bad look. But there were some strong people who were hostile to Yang Kai. At this moment, the murderous intent in his eyes is visible. Yang Kai sneered, standing on the spot like a javelin facing all kinds of complicated eyes and emotions, as if he was in a fierce vortex, unmoved. What a joke, he has fought against Lu Hai, the Second Order Void King Realm Star Master level powerhouse. How could Yang Kai fear these people? Although all of these people in front of him are Void Return stage and the number of them is extremely large, if Yang Kai is really thinking about killing them, none of them can escape from the High Heaven sect. Their ferocious eyes were as ridiculous as a beautiful lady winking at a blind man. After he gave the ultimatum, he ignored these people, spread his spiritual mind and wanted to find the people of the High Heaven sect, but after searching, he could not find any clues from the 81 peaks. All the people of the High Heaven sect had disappeared. This discovery made Yang Kai's expression increasingly ugly. Now he can vaguely guess what happened to High Heaven sect. One possibility is that everyone was killed by these guys, so he couldn't find them. The second possibility is that they have all evacuated from the 81 peak. As for where they went, Yang Kai could probably estimate it. The former is unlikely. Although the number of the High Heaven sect was not large at the beginning, the strengths were uneven, but since the people of Star Emperor Mountain were conquered, the High Heaven sect was not a sought persimmon that could be needed at will. It was a little unrealistic to kill Xian and the others based on these people alone. Then there is only the second possibility left. Maybe Xian took High Heaven sect's people and evacuated to the deepest part of Flowing Flame Sandfield. There is a place where Yang Yan sleeps, and there is a layer of 3 flame fire rings outside it no one can enter. Yang Kai didn't know why Xian made such a choice, but he also had difficulties when he wanted to understand. Just as his spiritual mind were released, an old man with divine poise and sage-like features suddenly came out, looking dignified and said, "Sect Master Yang." The old man is the Medicine Pill Sect Great Elder Li Jianming. Sect Master Yang is back from afar. You must have worked hard. So why not take a break first, and how about we talk about it? Medicine Pill Sect. This sect is also a notorious force on Shadowed Star. There is no other reason than the disciples of this sect are good at refining alchemy. Just like the position of Medicine King Valley in the central capital back then, Medicine Pill Sect also has a special status in Shadowed Star. There are 5 elders in the Medicine Pill Sect, all of whom are void-grade low-rank alchemists. These are extremely valuable talents on the Shadowed Star. Even like the Battle Sky Union and Thunder Typhoon Sect back then, must respect these 5 people and dare not neglect the slightest. As the Great Elder of the Medicine Pill Sect, Li Jianming is even more famous on the Shadowed Star, and he is on an equal footing with the Overlord of the major forces. He is naturally qualified to stand up and speak. When the old guy spoke, he stroked his gray beard and looked at Yang Kai with a smile on his face, as if he meant for him to give the old man a face. Yang Kai just glanced at him indifferently, and said coldly, "There is still half a cup of tea time. If you want to test this sect master patient, this sect master is willing to accompany you, but this sect master will not guarantee you what will happen after the time is up." After speaking, Yang Kai grinned, revealing a mouth full of white fangs, like a beast. Li Jianming's expression changed and he said annoyed, "Isn't Sect Master Yang a bit too unreasonable? I am coming forward to meet him. If Sect Master Yang doesn't give face, even if he has to say such a disregard for the righteousness of the human race, he is not afraid of getting into trouble." Yang Kai's eyes were cold, like a sword, staring at Li Jianming. Although the old guy is a void-grade alchemist, his own cultivation level is not that high, only the first level of void return stage. He can't bear Yang Kai's gaze, and he takes 2 steps back. Fortunately, Yang Kai didn't want to kill him without asking the reason, otherwise Li Jianming would definitely suffer severe damage. How courageous! Tang Fu Shui suddenly yelled, with a fierce light in his eyes, "You dare to attack Elder Li? Boy, you are so arrogant. You are the sect master, but you act according to your personal preferences. I will teach you a lesson so that you know how to behave in the future." Tang Fu Shui shouted lightly. His body burst out suddenly. His Saint Yuan should be a fire attribute. After the operation, the whole person was flaming up, looking like a ball of fire, with a terrifying momentum. He just stretched out his hand and held it, and a huge flame-burning hammer appeared in the void, slamming it in the direction of Yang Kai. Replaced with any void return stage, I'm afraid they can't easily deal with this flame giant. This is the full blow of the Floating Mist Palace Sect Master. Even Yang Xiaoju, Chu Hani and Lin Yurao, who had been standing silently behind Yang Kai, showed solemn expressions, and Yang Xiaoju took a step forward and prepared to take action. Yang Kai stretched out his hand to stop him, and laughed. Well, someone can't help but shoot. Since you are looking for death by yourself, this sect master will fulfill it for you. When the words fell, Yang Kai jumped up on the spot and greeted the flame giant with a ferocious expression. Returning to the High Heaven sect with anticipation, he suddenly found that the sect he had worked so hard to build was occupied by a group of completely unrelated people, and none of his disciples and friends were there. Yang Kai was already annoyed. But before he could figure out what was going on here, he could only hold back the anger and communicate with these people in words. Although it is unlikely, what if there is any misunderstanding? But he didn't expect. His kindness is regarded as weakness by others, and some people are stupid enough to be killed by him. Xianxia's anger broke out completely. Looking for death. Tang Fu Shui sneered, seeing that Xianxia actually used his bare hands to greet his ultimate move with his physical body. Not only did he fail to constrain his strength, but on the contrary, he increased the Saint Yuan output. In an instant, the flame giant expanded again and its power became stronger. Countless people's eyelids throbbed, and their faces changed looking at Xianxia, who was approaching the giant hammer, with mixed thoughts. The seemingly small figure finally collided with the huge flame hammer. The next moment, Tang Fu Shui's face changed drastically, and he involuntarily flew back, as if he had suffered a heavy blow. Boom. The giant hammer that was condensed from the third-order void return stage with pure Saint Yuan and supplemented by secret technique actually collapsed in midair, turned into countless fragments, and flowed in all directions. Xianxia's figure sprang out from it, his murderous intent and burst of anger almost condensed into substance, turning into a stream of light and rushing to Tang Fu Shui. In his incredible gaze, Xianxia waved a fist and slammed it down. Tang Fu Shui's reaction was also surprisingly fast. Facing such a punch, he desperately urged Saint Yuan to form protection outside his body, while spreading his own chi potential, trying to escape from the place. But as soon as his chi potential left his body, it shattered like facing against a natural enemy, and even his body was set in place, and the surrounding air was frozen, making him unable to move at all. Xianxia's fist quickly enlarged in his eyes. There was no Saint Yuan's fluctuations, but the fist is filled with a breath of death. Before the fist arrived, Tang Fu Shui felt his Saint Yuan protection began to shatter, and his face hurt. No! Tang Fu Shui yelled in horror. At this moment, he no longer had the image of the sect master. His face was pale, his eyes looked terrified, and he just wanted to survive. Boom! Xianxia punched him in the face. To be continued.